Okay, as you can see, winter has come to our little backyard here in Whitehorse. And as winter is here, we're starting to think about winter caribou hunting. We've always done that by skidoos in Nunavut at the NWT. This year we're thinking of combining our interests of snowshoeing and ski camping and putting it together with caribou hunting. So hopefully we'll find the time off at the right kind of time when the caribou are close enough that we can get to them. And this is a little movie about the planning that needs to go into that, and I'm trying to teach my kids a little bit about what they need to prepare to have this trip. So thank you. Layer one would be wool or polyester underwear with a thumb hole straight.
Okay, depending on the temperatures, layer 2 can be an extra insulation layer. So this is a wool blanket shirt. This is wool pants.
Layer 3 is a wind layer to capture a bubble of hot air. There's the cotton and poly cotton. And of course you're going to have some gloves. I like using a glove liner and a pair of chopper mitts with a good wool liner. All you need. And of course you need an insulating layer when you stop. For your feet, for when you're skiing, you need to have big enough shoes for an insole to cover some heat from the ground or cold from the ground. 2 layers of socks. You gotta have boots big enough for 2 layers of socks. And that will take you down to, you know, around minus 20 when you're active. That's centigrade. Should be comfortable to minus 20. Depending on your circulation, could be even a little lower. Neoprene boot glove gives you another 5 degrees or so. That gets you down to minus 25 centigrade. And this is super gaiters. And the super gaiters have an insulated insulation. None of these things insulate you from the ground, and that's where you tend to get the most cold from in a ski boot. And there's the super gaiters on, down to probably minus 30, maybe a little more if you put the boot glove back on. When it gets below minus 30, we switch to either snowshoes or skis with a special type of binding, and they use a cold, dry muckluck, which has a better insulation than the ground. There's the 2 layers there with an area a felt and a mesh to keep the water away from your foot. Again, 2 layers of socks. And now you can use this inner booty, which is basically 2 layers of duffel. So that's 4 insulating layers. The muckluck itself, or moccasin, that's one is made with moose hide. It's smoke tanned, breathes. You don't get wet feet if it's cold. There are similar types of boots that you can get. And here's one. It's a moccasin type boot. That's a U.S. Army boot. I like that one. And there are the 2 boots side by side, the ski boot.
So I've used a lot of different types of snowshoes. We started using traditional snowshoes, the big Yukon ones. Realized that almost all the travel that we do is either, if it's north of the tree line, the wind will tend to pack down the snow and it'll sinter together. Or we often are going along a skidoo trail or a dog team trail. So the big snowshoes didn't tend to work that well, and we found that we really like traction devices. So we all have different snowshoes because we've all bought them on sale. So this is a pair of Atlas 1030 trails. They're built for the trail. They've got great traction devices, and they've got a pretty good harnessing system here, which pivots, and you can drive that right in. So you can go up hills with this very easily. In fact, you can go up hills easier with these than you can with cross-country skis, which of course you have to be a little more athletic to be able to use. So this set of skis is some of the ones I've been using for well over 10 years now. They're Fishers. They're backcountry skis, and they've got this heavy-duty 3-pin binding. It's a very heavy-duty binding. They've got metal edges. They're wax skis, so you have to bring your little waxing kit, and that's our little waxing kit, which includes the cork, half a cork, all the different types of waxes that you're going to need, right down to pillar wax, which is your -30 wax, and all the way up to 0 and transitional waxes is all in that little homemade pouch.
Because skis are a little more tricky than snowshoes, I also bring a couple of tips. This is a big tip. Bring a small tip, and those just fit right on if you've got a broken ski tip. Bring some extra bindings. Bring a little case full of nuts and bolts to put the bindings on, and also bring this little device, which is the Leatherman Crunch, so that helps you fix stuff. It's got locking pliers and right kinds of screwdrivers, and you need to have that if you're skiing because you don't want to be trapped out there. That's your transportation system. Thank you.
Okay, you're filming.
Okay, so this is our sled that we built from our sled making kit. It came with a 12-foot long sheet, but now since it's curved there, it's just 10 feet long. So it's it's much easier to pull something than carry it on your back. So it's a nice piece of equipment to have.
Okay, so on it we've got 35, another 35, and a 10. That's 80 pounds. You think you can pull more than your own weight? Let's see. How easy is that?
It's pretty easy.
All right.
Another important piece of the travel system is, of course, your headlamp. You need to have a headlamp. There's not just really good LED types now, and also some dark glasses to help you with your winter travel. That's a very good looking dark glasses right there for sunny days in the winter.
Okay, this is our sleeping system. We're going to talk to you a little bit about that. One important piece of the sleeping system is a shovel. And we're going to be cold tenting because we're north of the tree line. Not much point bringing our late hot tenting setup, so we're going to bring a cold tenting setup. And this is our old stretch dome from Sierra Designs. They don't make these anymore, but this was a great 4-season tent. It's a 3-man tent. And a 3-man tent in the winter actually becomes like a 2-man tent, or a 1-man and 2-kid tent. And pretty light, easy to carry.
Sleeping systems. Step 1, you need something under you, like this tent. One's not enough in cold weather, so you can use 2. Step 2, you need something over you, like this winter weight sleeping bag. Step 3, to keep extra warm, you can use extra insulations like this parka over the foot box. If you have dry clothing, you can always wear it to keep extra warm. For example, we always bring our booties to keep our feet nice and toasty.
So there's an Optimus stove. It's a kerosene stove, puts out a heck of a lot of heat. Hey! The reason you have that very, very powerful stove, that kerosene stove, is a lot of it is to boil snow into water. And you keep the water in one of these. That's an Nalgene container and a little outdoor research bottle leash, so that keeps it from freezing. And that's a liter. We each have one of these, at least. And I also bring this baby right here, which is a 2-liter Stanley thermos in a cozy. And that keeps boiling water or tea all day. If it's in the cozy, well, maybe not all day, but 3-4 hours in good condition, so it's still hot to drink, even when it's -30. So 2 liters plus the 1 liter. You also bury these 1-liter bottles at night so they don't freeze.
Okay, the hut system. First of all, I bring this little Wetterling's axe. It's a very nice little axe. I use this for rib cages. It's also a redundancy. Even north of the tree line, you can get wood for a fire to help your cooking, because you gotta stay hydrated. 2, important piece. This is my favorite Caribou rifle. Got a terrible, impressive string of one-shot kills, largely because it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil. It's a 6.5 rem mag. It is, I use 130 grain AccuBond bullets, which are a bonded bullet, and that bullet is going 3,100 feet per second. I have an old Redfield scope that has the AccuTrack, which has a built-in rangefinder. It also has this ballistic turret, which is pretty well matched to that load up to about 600 yards. So it's been a very, very good rig for me. And again, nice thing about it is got good hitting power, but the recoil is good. Has a Packnor Supermatch barrel. This is the second barrel I've had on it. Shoots both barrels are shot really well. The old Remington barrel shot very well as well.
170 yards. 6.5.
And because we're going light, my cleaning system is simply one knife, and this is the little knife we'll take with us. And it is a 2-bladed Puma trapper type knife, and that's all you really need for taking a caribou apart. The axe is very useful too. It's got one pointy blade and one blade that's good for skinning. So that's been a very, very good. We use gutless skinning. That's a very good piece.
Any luck, we'll be able to get our holidays and caribou sorted out. And if so, we'll take you along with us. Thank you for listening.